Welcome to the Dan Casper Show podcast, your chance to catch the full show anytime, anywhere. If you missed it live on the radio, no worries. We've got you covered with all the sports talk, opinions, interviews, and conversations from the show. From the Packers to the Brewers to the biggest stories in sports and around Wisconsin, it's all right here. This is the Dan Casper Show podcast. All right, third hour, kick it off right now on this Tuesday morning of May 26th. Thanks for hanging out with us. Whether you've been listening on the radio dials, 105.1 FM, 790 AM, online at our website, sportstalk1051.com, WAYYradio.com. You've got your Alexa devices, your smart devices, and, well, the video stream that's also up and rolling here this morning. Hey, if you are at our website, don't forget to sign up. Sign your team up now for the 6th annual Casper Classic coming your way Friday, August 6th. August 7th. Excuse me, getting my dates mixed up because we have a tailgate Thursday for the Express game on 6th. August 7th, all right? Friday, August 7th. Two-person team. There's $90 get you your 9 holes, your cart, your meal, some drink tickets, all that good stuff. We've got just only a couple tee times left for 10 a.m., we still got tee times left for the 1 p.m. and the 7:30 a.m. So 7:30 a.m., we got tee times available. 10 a.m., just a couple. 1 p.m., we've got some available there too. But we've sold out every single year, so make sure you get your team now. If you've signed up before and you want to do it again, you haven't signed up, get to it. All right. Again, WAYYradio.com, sportstalk1051.com. We're going to talk with RJ Cardinal. RJ Cardinal coming up here in about, let's say, 15 minutes or so. I want to get his thoughts on the Big Ten, which seems like the Big Ten is really pushing to expand the college football playoff to 24 teams. So I want to get his thoughts on that. And, I mean, it could be something that maybe we see really quick. Also, his thoughts on the age-based model that the NCAA is discussing could eye up for a June vote. So if you're not sure what that is, the NCAA said on Friday that athletes whose fourth year of college eligibility was completed by spring of 2026 would not be given any more eligibility under the new model. It would also give flexibility to currently enrolled athletes with eligibility after the 25-26 academic year to apply the age-based model or continue previous eligibility rules, whichever is more beneficial to that individual. So we'll get RJ's takes and thoughts on all of that stuff. So that, again, about 15 minutes or so. Let's do a little, well, before that, we've got NBA playoffs, the Knicks getting some brooms out. Hey, give them credit. They've been playing really well. You want to talk about momentum? The New York Knickerbockers, they've got all the momentum in the world right now in the postseason. They've been sweeping. They've had some extra rest. Don't worry about rust with that team. They've been, well, maybe a little bit of rust in the first half of that, first 3 quarters of their game against the Cavs. After that, swept the Cavs. They're playing with a boatload of momentum, and they're going to have a little time off here as they wait to find out if they're going to play the Spurs or the Thunder in the NBA Finals. Game 5 between Spurs and Thunder tonight, with that series tied at 2 apiece. We also have the Stanley Cup playoffs going on. Carolina picking up a 3-2 victory in OT last night against Montreal. Carolina leads that series 3-2. But maybe a little bit of a surprise in the other one, Vegas is up 3-0 against the Colorado Avalanche. And Avalanche are on the verge of being swept tonight. Game 4 tonight. Vegas up 3-0 in that series. So maybe Vegas getting back to the Stanley Cup final. We'll see. But I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. I'm not saying blank, but I'm just saying blank. What you got for me? I'm going to go to the NBA world. And I've heard Kenny Atkinson say, I think it was after their Game 3 loss, He's the head coach of the Cavs. Their game 3 loss to the Knicks, saying, well, analytically, we won 2 of these 3 games. And then James Harden yesterday, after their loss, saying that they were the better team. I'm not saying those are some of the most annoying excuses, and it's not the first time we've heard players, coaches say this stuff. And I'm not saying it's the most annoying thing in the world, but I'm just saying it's one of the dumbest things in the world. Okay? The whole, well, analytically we won 2. What, do you want a participation ribbon for that? But yeah, I felt like we were the better team. Do you want a certificate saying that? Doesn't matter. You weren't. The proof's on the scoreboard. The only thing that matters is the scoreboard. And the scoreboard says that you guys got swept. Analytics, be darn. Talent overall, be darn. You were not the better team. You could have led in a certain category, doesn't make you a better team. Analytics could tell you that, oh yeah, you should have won. All right. If anything, that's not an argument to be made in a positive light for your team. You want to sit there and say analytics shows that we were the better team 2 of the first 3 games, then that doesn't bode well for your team overall. Then why didn't you win? I can't stand stuff like that when it comes to a sports rule. Well, after losses, yeah, I thought we were better team, and numbers prove that we were the better team. The only number that matters is the scoreboard, is the final score. That's the only thing that matters. It's not analytical numbers or, man, we had, more shots, or we did this better, we did that better. Doesn't matter. The only stat that matters in any sport, the only one, the number one, the head honcho, is what is that score on the scoreboard? That's the only one. We can break down numbers. We can break down stats all day, every day. And we do. Right? We do. The only one, the top tier, statistic, stat, number you want to call it, is the score, the team score, when the clock hits 0 or time is out or the round is over. If you're talking golf, what's that score say? What's that number say? It's the only one that matters. Not how many passing yards you had in the game. Not how many, hits you had in the game. How many home runs you had. Obviously, home runs lead to runs and such, but still, those aren't the most important ones. It's the scoreboard. So to sit there, whether you're Kenny Atkinson or whether you're James Harden, and I thought we were the better team this series. No, you weren't. You got swept. You were not the better team. And don't throw out, well, a couple games here, we were the better analyst. No, you weren't. Okay? You weren't. You want a banner that says analytically we were a better team? Go right ahead. Just ridiculous. But I know Knicks, if you are one that follows a lot of national shows, national talking heads, it might be a little unbearable with a lot of the Knicks talk. But I get it. I mean, the Knicks, they're back there first time since 1999, and I believe that was the strike-shortened season of the NBA when they went up against the Spurs. And I believe, if my memory serves me correct, when I used to be a diehard NBA fan, the Knicks were an 8 seed, and they got there, but they ran into the Tim Duncan, David Robinson Spurs and lost it. We might have a rematch of that, depending on if the Spurs can get through the Thunder. We might have a little bit of a rematch there. But, the NBA's loving this. They're loving that. Finally, the New York Knickerbockers are back in the NBA Finals. And I know, we don't talk Knicks a lot. We're not a Knicks station. We're not a Knicks program. But I've been seeing a lot of people right now saying if the Knicks win and Jalen Brunson is a big-time player, first of all, I think he's going to have to be a big-time player, regardless if it's the Spurs or Thunder that they would have to play. If he's going to have to be a big-time player. But if the Knicks win, there's already people saying he's the greatest Knick ever. That's quite the title. I don't know if I could, with a lot of the Knicks players. I mean, you've got in the history. I mean, Clyde Frazier, Patrick Ewing, Willis Reed, Earl the Pearl Monroe. I mean, that's pretty that's pretty high company. I mean, Willis Reed, for crying out loud, won 2 championships. Okay, Patrick Ewing, yeah, he never won a championship, but player-wise, one of the best big men of all time, one of the best players of all time. Yeah, this was from CBS Sports. 4 wins away from becoming the greatest Knick of all time. Ooh, yeah. I don't know if I can co-sign on that yet. All right, let's take a quick break. We're going to switch gears here a little bit, and we're going to talk with RJ Cardinal. I want to talk some college sports with him. Big Ten, are they really trying to push for college football expansion to 24 teams? What are your thoughts on that? As a fan, as a college football fan, as a sports fan, what are your thoughts on 24? You're probably thinking, hey, 24 playoff games, let's do it. But is that enough? Is that too much? When is it going to stop? It's kind of like the NCAA tournament, right? Stop expanding. You think it should go 24? Without trying to figure out, because it'd probably be like too much math in that, how you're going to do all these different games and scheduling-wise. That's not your problem. But as a fan, would you like to see the college football playoff expand to 24? We'll get RJ's thoughts coming up after these quick words. Summer is here, and that means it is time to get outdoors, make some memories, and be ready for whatever the season may bring. That's where Tilden Gun comes in. Whether you're gearing up for some target practice or heading to the range or preparing for your next outdoor adventure, Tilden Gun has the selection and expertise to get you set up right. From firearms and ammunition to accessories and safety gear, they got everything that you may need, all backed by knowledgeable service that you can trust. And at Tilden Gun, it's not just about what you buy, it's about making sure that you feel confident, informed, and ready every single time you head on out. So this summer, don't just enjoy the outdoors, be prepared for it. Stop by Tilden Gun today and see why they are a trusted name for shooters and outdoor enthusiasts alike. All right, switch gears here, and let's catch up with our guy, Mr. RJ Cardinal, who is joining us here this morning. RJ, how you doing, bud?
Oh, doing pretty good after the long weekend. How about yourself?
Not bad, man. It's starting to feel like summer finally with some of the warmer temperatures and such. It kind of began a few days ago, still, wearing a jacket and that, but now you got the shorts and polo. I'm ready for golf and fishing and all that stuff, dude. So.
Oh, same. I was up in Minocqua over the weekend. And the Friday and Saturday, well, Friday was rainy. Saturday was cloud covered, but, in the 60s. And then it boomed to 80 yesterday. And I sat outside on a dock for most of the day. So I am feeling the summer right now with how red my arms and legs are.
That's awesome. Well worth it, though, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Can't take away just quiet, and it's a smaller lake up there, so it's not like Lake Minocqua or anything like that. But, yeah, sitting on a quiet lake after people from Illinois have left for the weekend already and just taking in the silence and the sun. It was great.
Yeah, man, that sounds awesome. Well, hey, I know we don't have a lot, from a Badger side of things, but something I did really want to kind of talk to you about is a potential 24-team college football playoff, because it seems like the Big Ten is in favor of this. Now, I know Greg Sankey from the SEC, he talked a little bit towards the end of last week and such, and seems to be, maybe a little bit back and forth and such. But the fact that the Big Ten says here, I was reading a little bit from Pete Thamel, said the Big Ten coaches and athletic directors put up a united front in support of expanding to 24 last week at the league's meetings in California. What are your thoughts, and why is the Big Ten, in your opinion, in favor of expanding to 24. Is it just straight up money? Is it as simple as that? It's just money?
I think it's money and more teams from the conference in the playoff, which will generate more money. So they can do it they're going after it under the guise of college football. Well, FBS division is the last last sport really that doesn't give quote unquote everybody a chance to win a title. So they feel moving to 24 teams, surpassing 16 or 18, and going right to 24 will put you in a model along the lines of when baseball expanded their playoffs multiple times, when the NFL expanded their playoffs multiple times, and they've had now the commissioner was working with baseball when they last expanded, and then I think Maryland's athletic director was in the NFL when they last expanded, and even though everybody said it was going to dilute things, you still have the buys, you have wild card weekend where everybody's still watching. They're not looking at it and saying, well, we're going to surpass that. And so the Big Ten is looking at eyes on the television, extra games, because you go to 16, you add one more or two more games, and you don't put the money in the pockets of the conferences. So I think we've seen, based on the last TV deal, the Big Ten is really looking at the money side of it. As conferences expand, you'll need to compensate them for being members of the conference, and the only way to do that is really through television contracts and things like that. So the $1 billion deal that the Big Ten gets, and everybody's upset that Northwestern and Purdue and Wisconsin and some of the teams that aren't winning games right now are making more money than Alabama and Clemson and all those other schools that are traditionally up near the top of college football. So also with this plan, at least in the eyes of the Big Ten, early losses won't affect your chances at making the college football playoff as they would under, the 12 that we've seen, even though, Alabama loses to a bad Florida State team and still somehow makes the college football playoff. But year in, year out, if you're like a top 10 team and maybe you lose a game, one game, two games, but then, the rest of your season wins gets you staying up there, you're pretty much a lock into the college football playoffs. So you'll always see Alabama in there. You'll always see Ohio State in there. You'll always see, name a blue blood. If you're ranked high at the beginning of the year, you're probably going to be in the college football playoff. A couple weeks ago, you had the Big 12 and the SEC or ACC kind of be on the side of the SEC, but then within the past few weeks, not sure what happened, but they've started pushing for the 24 team as well. And probably, I would say, because of the fact that they know they'll be able to have more teams in there as well, where we've seen in the past few years, here are the locks, and most of them have been Big Ten and SEC teams, and it's basically said, well, if you win the ACC and maybe take second, you'll be in. If you win the Big 12, you're in, and the rest of you aren't good enough to be in there. So you expand to 24, those two conferences get more in, and it gives people more of a shot. UCLA's new head coach, who just came over there from James Madison, who was in the college football playoff last year, is for the expansion because you can start to maybe get Cinderella stories in college football. I mean, I think we kind of saw that the past two seasons with Indiana, but also Indiana threw a lot of money in it. But you look at that team that won the national championship, for the most part, they're 4 stars and under. They didn't have a lot of 5-star people on that roster, even with the transfers. So It's one of those. When the Big Ten came out and kind of started laying out the reasons why, you can see where it might be beneficial to college football as a whole. It'll totally diminish the bowl system. It'll wipe out conference championship games. But with those going away, if your conference gets more teams in, it can make up for that lost revenue of the conference championship games. So there's a lot of good. And, I mean, you could say it's watered down, and, it probably will be. Because, I mean, we have seen it where some of these teams, as you see the teams who were the last four in, really didn't belong in there. But, any given Saturday, any given Sunday in football, it can be something different. But it's under the guise of making it better for the sport, but really for money. And will it dilute it? I think at the college football level, probably yes. But as we all know now, it's just money grabs for what we know now for college athletics. So we'll see where it goes. It seems 3 of the 4 Power 4 conferences are in on it, and we'll see what happens when the SEC talked and see what they come out and say. And it'll be interesting to see how this goes moving forward.
I was also reading too that it sounds like the Big Ten is either in favor of 24 or staying at 12. Why just those two, do you think?
Because the proposal for 16 right now would then be starting a week earlier. So you eliminate the conference football championship games, but you only add 2 games. So that's not getting anybody compensated for the loss of their championship game, which the Big Ten says, I think, brings in, I forgot what it was like a number where I was looking at it and I was like, really? Trying to remember what it says, the conference. The conference title game, collectively for the conference title games are worth $200 million. So if you just add 2 games, there's no way that's making up for every conference's collective championship game equaling $200 million. So, it's the money compensation to add 12 more teams, double your games, and be able to fiscally be okay with losing your conference championship games.
Gotcha. All right. So, man, there's a lot of numbers and stuff in there too. I'm glad you're breaking it down for us. So,
we've like everything we've talked about when the Big Ten expanded and added the 4 West Coast teams, it was all about adding the market size. It really didn't matter who the teams were. Just like when they added DC and New York, and it was like, okay. I mean, they're not great, but hey, we got the TV markets, and that added money to the Big Ten network. So, this as a whole would sweeten the pot for everybody in terms of, the TV deals paying out the conferences, and whatever compensation you get in terms of participating. Because, in the bowl system, you got money for going to the bowl and then an extra payment if you won the bowl. And then that went to the conference, and then the conference can divvy that out. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens here, see if the SEC tags along or changes its tune to go to 24. I don't know. I think they see it as the Big Ten getting richer, and I don't think they're happy about that because, as we've seen now, when everybody can pay players, whether it's over the table or under the table, the Big Ten has now won 3 national championships in a row, just won a basketball national championship in both men's and women's. It's I don't think they like seeing the Big Ten be successful, and not just at football, but across multiple sports.
Mm-hmm. Staying with kind of some college, maybe some different changes in rules. I know the NCAA is discussing an age-based model that maybe a vote could happen as soon as next month. The NCAA said on Friday that athletes whose fourth year of college eligibility was completed by the spring of 2026 would not be given any more eligibility under the new model. It also would give flexibility to currently enrolled athletes with eligibility after the 25-26 academic year to apply the age-based model or continue previous eligibility rules, whichever is more beneficial to the individual. I mean, it probably doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out, RJ, but I mean, the last couple of years, how many times are we talking about players who are playing in their seventh year, or sixth year, eight, whatever the case may be. And a lot of it was, COVID based and such, but this, I would imagine, is a direct response to a lot of these players finding maybe some loopholes and continuing their college playing days.
Yeah, because they could take their redshirt year. And I think really this is focused on men's basketball and football for the most part, but then it has a trickle-down effect for every other sport because they say there's not going to be sport-specific rules. You look at things like hockey. You have some freshmen who come in at 20 or 21 for one reason or another. I mean, there's can't-miss prospects who will be, go right into college and then at age 18 or 19 go right into college, spend a year or two, and then move on to the NHL. But there are guys who need to develop and let their body catch up to them in that sport, where they go play major juniors in Canada or play at the USHL, NAHL, and other leagues where you can play until you're like 20, I think, and then your game gets a little more improved. You're basically playing a professional schedule while still doing academic sides of things and things like that, and completing a degree. But they start at 20. So if you would have graduated at a certain time or turned 19, whichever comes first, your clock started then for your eligibility at the NCAA, even though you're not at an NCAA institution yet. So I'm not sure how they can legally do that. So I think, I haven't looked into that side of it at all, but it seems like there could be more lawsuits or legal proceedings based on that. I mean, you can say it's a rule, but you can't rule over people who aren't in the NCAA yet. And so, you have a trickle down with that. Other Olympic sports, depending on your year, there have been people who've taken an Olympic redshirt year, their freshman year or sophomore year, based on an Olympics coming up. So they're on the team, but they're not on the team, and they're away training for the Olympics. Then they come back, and I mean, depending on your year, you could catch an Olympics at your freshman and senior year, but still want to be able to go compete, but you can't now because of this age-based thing, where it's a lot of these people who even go to try out, sometimes they don't make the team, but they lost a year of eligibility now based on this new model. So it doesn't make sense. So it'll pass unanimously with the NCAA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Speaking of lawsuits and stuff, I got to ask you your thoughts. And I know we haven't really touched on it, but the Brendan Sorsby ordeal, Texas Tech quarterback. If anybody has been following along, he went into treatment for gambling. Apparently, was found gambling, betting on. He was with Indiana as a redshirt freshman. He was betting on games there. He had transferred to Texas Tech this year, and obviously now Texas Tech, or the NCAA is saying that can't play. They're suing. Brendan Sorsby is suing, filing a lawsuit against the NCAA as he seeks to play college football in 2026. I guess I don't see a path for him to play, RJ. I mean, it seems to be pretty clear that if you're gambling, if you're sports, I mean, especially you're gambling on it's almost like the Pete Rose argument, I feel like, because he says he was gambling, for his team, picking Indiana to win and such. I I don't know if I see a path for him to play. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it's really one of those. I think somebody's just taking his money.
Yeah.
Or he's gambling on himself, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't understand how you can think, oh, hey, I bet on my team. And sure, you could have the purest intentions. He says it was because he wasn't playing. It was to make himself feel close to his teammates and enjoy the win with them. I mean, wow, that's if that doesn't say gambling addiction, I don't know what does.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's true or not, but there are reports I saw coming out on social media and things where he was betting on like lower division European soccer and some other stuff too. So, I mean, this guy has a problem. And and like you said, like Pete Rose wasn't betting against his team, was betting on them, but still you were betting on college football, which, I mean, even like I remember when Rick Neuheisel got caught doing a NCAA tournament bracket and got suspended for like a few games. There's not, it doesn't make sense as to why he's suing to be eligible. And really, I mean, NFL teams can't be liking what this is seen either. So it's not like I have to play to be able to go to the NFL. I would assume this is a big red flag for the NFL as well. I mean, you can Art Schlichter, he was a quarterback for Ohio State in the late 70s, early 80s, I think, who it was found out later was gambling on games and things like that at Ohio State, and then was still gambling on games when he went to the NFL and played a couple of seasons, but like got booted out of the NFL, I think, for gambling. So it's not. It just doesn't make sense to me as why he's doing this, other than I think somebody's trying to get money, or that guy at Texas Tech who spent all his money is spending his money to bring people in, wants this guy to play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no kidding. So, all right, RJ, before I let you go, have you heard anything, seen anything with the athletic director search for Wisconsin? I don't know if, I know Jamie Pollard a week or so ago was pretty critical of like the Big Ten commissioner and the SEC commissioner. So I don't know if that would he'd take himself out. I don't even know if he was a possibility, but it was a name that we threw out there. So, but have you seen anything or heard anything, or is it pretty quiet on your end too?
I mean, like absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And that's like what I said. This could be one where we don't hear anything until somebody's hired. I mean, all it has to do is be posted for 2 weeks and somebody can be hired, and they wanted to have somebody hired by the summer. And I mean, school year's done. Guess it depends on when the UW feels like summer starts.
Yeah.
We're just waiting. Haven't really even heard possible candidates. Haven't seen anybody doing the plane trackers from anywhere from, wherever possible candidates might be coming from, saying, hey, there's a plane flying from X to Madison or whatever. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. But yeah, I have not heard anything. And I don't have as many people in the athletic department I know anymore, so I don't really have anybody to ask either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe it is that going to be that case where we just kind of find out. Like you said, I know you mentioned it a couple times now, the Luke Fickell hire. We didn't see that thing coming, and there he is. There it was. So. Yep.
So, I mean, we even had newspapers reporting that Jim Leonard would be named the head coach on Sunday morning, and then Sunday morning comes and it's announced it's Luke Fickell.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's it could be that way. So who really knows? We're kind of waiting here, and it's almost out of sight, out of mind. But when you're coming to a dead period in a lot of Wisconsin athletics, kind of crazy. But we'll see where it goes.
Yeah. He's RJ Cardinal. Good stuff as always, buddy. Hey, appreciate the time. Take care of that tan you got going on there, dude. And we'll chat with you next week.
Well, not a tan yet. It's a little red. But yeah,
it'll get there. It'll get there. So.
And College World Series. Congrats to UWM for qualifying.
Yeah.
Let's go. The only Division I baseball team in Wisconsin.
Hey, you're going to open up a can of worms with that discussion now, man. So you just saying, you're going to open up with a lot of people asking the same question, why they don't. So
one of my good buddies is the coach manager of the UW club baseball team, and he's been pushing for every year for that to go, and he has Bud Selig on his side, so I'm not sure what's going on there, but he's been pushing for Wisconsin to bring back baseball for over a decade now. So he's already trying to talk to the athletic department, and he talked with McIntosh, who seemed like he was actually open to bringing back baseball, at least according to my buddy, and he is looking forward to seeing who the new athletic director is, so he can contact them and put a little bug in their ear about bringing back baseball too. So, I know it's a can of worms. I know everybody wants to. I know a lot of people say they'd go watch games. Probably a lot of away games, because I don't know how many people would actually want to go watch baseball in, 40s and 50-degree weather. But there's some nutcases out there. I'd probably be one of them every now and then.
Really, really quick, if that were to happen, it would have to be like they would have to add another women's program or take away a men's program, correct?
Actually, Wisconsin is one of the few institutions that's Title IX compliant. They wouldn't have to add or take away anything right now. So, it's leaning heavily on the women's side, so they could add a baseball team and not have to add a women's sport or take away a men's sport.
Interesting. Good nugget. Well, I'm glad I asked that. So, let's get the team then over there. So, heck yeah.
Yeah, right?
Exactly. All right, dude. Hey, appreciate it, buddy. Enjoy the rest of the week, and we'll catch up with you next week, okay?
Absolutely. Sounds good. We'll talk to you then.
You got it. There you go. RJ Cardinal. Good stuff from RJ as usual. We got to take a quick break, but we'll be back after these few words.